choice.
What's going on, YouTube, social media world? It's your boy AnonymousBased, and I'm biggity back with a new reaction video. This time I'm here with something brand new from It's Complicated. But before we get into that, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and give this video a like. Share with a couple of your friends. Make sure you follow me on all my social media sites. And if you got something specific, go ahead and drop it in that comment section. So, we are here with something brand new from It's Complicated, man. Shout out to you, bro. And the name of this video is called Pearls of Wisdom. Rules of Modern Dating and Understanding Women. And if you see who's on here, anybody that's in the red pill space knows who this is. Shout out to Just Pearly Things, man. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into it.
If there was one thing men needed to learn about women, what would it be?
Don't listen to us. We don't even know what we want.
Here we go.
And I know it's funny because I have a platform, but I really try not to give advice for that reason.
Coming in speaking facts already.
Are you a 10? What's your body count? And what do you bring to the table?
Uh-oh.
Oh gosh. Am I a 10? No. I would say 1 to 10. I give myself a 5. I think on a good day I'm a 6. Oh gosh. What's my body count? Well, I haven't killed anybody, so 0. What do I bring to the table?
All right, let's hear
I'm good
it.
with kids.
All right.
I'm very helpful and I'm very supportive. And
come on, you gotta have more than that.
I don't know if men value this, but I was thinking about this the other day. Whenever I'm with a guy, like I always try to make his life like better. So if he has like something, like even if it's like small, like I always try to like make his life better and like think of things that are like unique to him. Like I don't know, I used to like clean my ex-boyfriend's apartment, and so when he came back, he'd be like surprised with a clean apartment or stuff like that.
All
I think the answer you're looking for is, I am the table.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Oh, and I will say, I make some mean chicken. I make such good chicken.
When you were a little girl, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be a singer.
Okay.
right.
Do you plan on using your current YouTube status to launch your singing career?
Not as much. I might drop like an album at some point, maybe like Red Pill music. I like to freestyle rap too. People are surprised by that usually. Maybe, but not. That would never be like the main thing, but maybe as like a side thing.
Do you miss living in the U.S. and why?
Yes, I miss my family a lot, and I miss. I don't like being like an 8-hour flight away from every collab or like every. Yeah, I do miss the U.S., but I like playing volleyball in the U.K.
How is dating different in the UK than it is in America?
The men dress better in the UK, and
Okay.
I'd say it's similar. The men dress
Oh,
better. And so do
really?
women, actually.
You are the most prominent female in the manosphere. How did that happen?
Oh gosh, it's like a long story. It was a couple months ago, I started a YouTube show, and I told myself I was going to stick to this live stream schedule. I was like, I'm going to do 3 days a week. I upped it to 4, but it was
Are you still wearing enough layers to insulate Alaska? That's why you need the new and improved bearskin hoodie. The 6
bearskin
3 days a
hoodie.
week at the time. I'm going to have people from everywhere, and we're just going to talk about relationships. And I thought that London was cool because it's the only place in the world that like everybody, you'll meet someone from Spain, you'll meet somebody from Italy, you'll meet someone from all over Europe, and you know, it's like you'll have completely different views on relationships. And I just thought that was so cool how diverse it was. So
All right.
That and hard work, I would say.
You've obviously grown in popularity in a short period of time because of your great work ethic. Where did that come from?
My dad. He's the hardest worker I've ever met in my life. Like literally, 60, 70 hours a week my whole life. And I was telling you this earlier. Like when I was a kid, I always felt like I was dumb, and it was because I was a year young for my grade. So like when I graduated high school, I was 17, and so I always just felt like I was like behind. And I just remember there was this one time when I was a kid, I was like really frustrated because I was really bad at math at the time. And I told my dad, I was like, Dad, like I'm too stupid. I can't do this. Like da-da-da, you know, I was being a woman, right? Whining. And he told me, he said, it's not about how smart you are. It's about how hard you work. And I promise you in 10 years, you're going to be ahead of everybody because you have that. You have that work ethic, and you can't teach that. You can have the smartest person. I would take a hard worker over a smart person every day. I hire people every day. And it just kind of stuck with me. Because it was
son,
like the
where'd you find
older I got,
this?
the easier and easier life got for me. Like, I just feel like I've never been someone that's naturally talented at things, but I work really, really hard. And it's funny because like 17 or 18 and younger, it's really all about like what you're gifted, not like what God gave you basically. But it's kind of funny because the older you get, you really start to see like the divide in the people that worked hard the last 10 years and the people that didn't.
Yeah, that's true.
The people that didn't end up getting really fat. Shout out to a lot of y'all I went to high school with.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I would say my dad and my family. Like, we would always, it's funny, we say in my family, like when we go on vacation, it's not rest. Like we go on vacation and we hike 10,000 feet, or we go ice climbing, or it's like you're working still on vacation. So
What do you say to people who think you're a chameleon or that you're only in this for your own benefit?
I probably would make more money. Honestly, I had almost 1 million followers, 80% women. So I almost was on national TV for like relationship quizzes. I could have made money doing a lot of things. So if they think that, it's okay.
Would you agree that the majority of your subscribers are not only men, but are black men?
Ooh. He gets to the good questions.
Probably.
Why do you think that is?
I think it's because I've noticed that a lot of people that follow me seem to like that I came from like a 2-parent household. And I've noticed that a lot of my followers came from a 1-parent household. And I think oftentimes people that come from, not just, but like people that come from 1-parent households have trouble because they've never seen what a healthy relationship looks like. And they kind of like to hear me talk about like my parents. And I just think the single motherhood rate is higher in the black community, but
that's true.
I would say a large portion of my audience is white too.
Would you agree that being a white woman in the manosphere is even more unusual?
I guess I am the only one. Yeah. I never thought about it, but I'm thinking of all the other girls. Oh no, there's one more. Yeah, I would
Roma.
still say it's unusual, yes.
How many other women do you know who are like you?
I know a lot of women that don't care, that are like in the middle and really aren't super opinionated. But like me and think the same way I do, maybe 5.
Another characteristic that makes you stand out as a female white woman in the manosphere is that you are very transparent. You talk about your feelings, you don't wear much makeup. What do you attribute that to?
Uh-oh. Let's hear it. Let's see.
My family.
Okay.
It's funny, I have a family and we're like a top and I don't say this to brag, I just say it to give context, but my dad was a top 1% earner. And one of my favorite comments, like to this day, about my family was, y'all are rich, but you look poor. and my parents always taught me to like not value material things. And we were just always very open in my family. So yeah, I just never was really into like the clothes, the makeup, and that sort of stuff.
Do you ever feel vulnerable because of your openness?
Yes.
You've made it known that you come from a large affluent family. What makes you different from most women that are attracted to labels and status?
Nothing.
Uh-oh.
Aren't you the strong, independent woman?
After just 21 days, my teeth are the whitest that they've ever been. I cannot believe the results.
Dang! Dang!
Woman that feminists claim to be, but rather than hating men, you're actually fighting for them?
Sorta. I think about that sometimes. I'm like, because I wasn't expecting everything to blow up this fast. It's funny, I really never chased money. I always just chased like doing something that I liked to do and was interested in, and speaking about things that I like talking about and that matter to me. But yeah, I guess. Sorry, that's a good question. So you said you could call it. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Of the following, which of these makes you feel loved the most? Words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts,
Oh, he's talking
acts
about
of
the 5
service,
love languages.
or physical touch?
In romantic relationships, I would say physical touch.
Hey.
Would you assume that physical touch would be most men's love language because every other love language you could get through friendship?
Probably, yeah.
And would you assume that the second would be quality time because time is your most precious resource and everything on that list takes time?
You know what's funny? Mine used to be acts of service. But I think the older I get, the more like quality time means to me because we have less of it.
Has the manosphere affected your personal dating experiences and relationships? If so, how?
Yes. I broke up with
Uh-oh.
I broke up with my last boyfriend because I was thinking like that he was. Yeah, like actually, it's funny. Kevin Samuels told me to break up with my last boyfriend, because I didn't think we would get married, and I was like, well, yeah. So I would say yes.
What about your friends and family?
Yes. My family, they support me, and they're very supportive, so there hasn't been an issue there. But no, I lost friends of I had a friend of 18 years that stopped being friends with me because of this stuff. Yeah, I've lost a lot of friends doing this type of content.
How do you feel about the manosphere as a whole?
I love it. I think it's great. I think there's not a lot of content that advocates for the men, and I think it's raising awareness of a lot of things that that society just doesn't really talk to you about. So when I first entered the manosphere, I could not understand why people wouldn't want to get married. But then you learn more about the laws and the way that men really aren't advocated for in society. And now it's a year later, and I'm like, wow, I probably wouldn't get married if I was a guy. And it's things like that that I think are important for men to be aware of. So I think it's great.
What are its strengths and weaknesses?
Okay. Strengths. There's a lot of guys that actually genuinely want to help men. They have courses. They have
seminars.
Any self-improvement you can find in the manosphere. Weakness.
None.
I think sometimes.
Look, she can't think of one. She can't think of one. She can't think of one. She can't think of any weaknesses.
I think sometimes I would like to see people do in-person interviews more. I think a lot of times, like, we'll get cooped in a studio or cooped in a reaction area, and I really like, and this is myself included, like, I think we should go out in the field more and, like, talk to people in real life.
I think that's a great idea. I think maybe we
It's
should
not
go
a
do that. What
weakness
do you
though,
think?
but hey, I
Yeah,
agree.
we could maybe do it.
Why does the manosphere spend so much time focusing on masculinity rather than misandry?
I don't even think the manosphere is fully aware to like the extent of misandry. I mean, that sounds silly, right? That's what we do. But it's like, even with you, like there's questions that you ask that I never would have thought of that it like proves the point that society has open misandry against men. But it's so ingrained in us that like we don't even think about it. And I think sometimes even us, it's always, men need to be more, men need to step up. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's just innate. I don't know.
Why does the manosphere spend so much time on self-improvement and men grooming themselves to please toxic women that just want to use them and bring nothing to the table?
I think it's a response. What other choice do you have? Most men don't want to die alone. Most men want a wife and want a kids and want a family. So, you could say step up to women, and I agree, but the only thing you can control in life is yourself. So if you really want to get laid or get with a girl, like, there's no cheat code to it. That's the only way.
I'm your fear of failure. I stop you from doing anything too risky. Just trying to keep you nice and... So what are you doing? Cooking dinner for my in-laws. Following this recipe on Pinterest. Don't... Huh.
Opening a business checking account shouldn't be harder than running your business. So
This
why
is
do
pretty
most
good
banks
so far.
The only way you can do it. I think men want to get laid. Yeah.
All the time.
Where do you hope to see the manosphere in 5 years?
I'd like to see
Come on.
I'd like to see some of the laws change. And I'd
There
like
we
the
go.
manosphere to help do that.
There we go. Sounds good to me.
What would you like to know about me?
Uh-oh.
What made you so passionate about this?
Uh-oh.
I would start by saying personal frustrations. I got tired of people saying one thing and doing another, getting all these conflicting pieces of advice when we're all kind of want the same outcomes. We all want love, we all want respect, we all want to know how to better ourselves. Basically trying to understand what is authentic and what are misconceptions that need to be debunked. Just a curiosity, a sense of wanting to know the truth, a sense of wanting justice, real fairness. I think a lot of it comes from that.
Good answer.
A lot of it was curiosity for me too, when it started. Because when I first started, I was just really curious and nosy. But then you start to learn about all the ways that men have been disadvantaged in society, and you're like, God damn,
Yep.
men have it hard.
Yep. we
What is
sure
the
do.
best and the worst thing about being a woman?
Ooh.
The
good
best
one.
thing is how helpful the world is to you, I would say. I think as a young woman, like, people are more willing to help you and you kind of get into more doors. I would say the worst thing is we're all crazy deep down. Like, even the most sane women, and this is I really try not to act like I'm better than any woman. Like, there's just a part of us that we get emotional, and it's crazy because sometimes, and even if you control it, like you could be completely in control, maybe no one else will even know you feel like this, but you'll be super upset over something and you'll know it's so stupid, and it's stupid, but you can't help it. But you can't help how you act, ladies, so let's not no excuses in that way. Still feel how you feel.
What would you think is the best and worst thing about being a man?
Uh-oh.
The best thing about being a man, is, let me think. I think that the best thing about being a man is that life gets better as you age.
Okay.
Whereas women, like, we have this constant, like, biological clock type of thing, but like as a man, life gets better. But I think that the worst thing about being a man is that society treats you as expendable. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Okay, so for additional context, life only gets better for us men when we do the work. It doesn't get better just because we get older. We have to do the work. We have to acknowledge our strengths and our weaknesses, areas that we can improve, and we have to overall be better people, right? We have to work on our fitness, we have to work on our mentality, we have to work on our spirituality, work on our finances, and just be well-rounded all around. So that is how life gets better for men as we age.
Don't the good, decent women in the world regularly call out or shame the trash women for how they treat men?
There's a stupid sister code, and I don't get it. I think bad behavior is bad behavior, and women should be able to call it out, and men should be able to call it out. But women feel like we need to protect other women, and I think it's innate too, because men do it too. And I think there's a reason that women and children get off the boat first, and it's because there's something in us that like feels like we need to protect other women, but don't stop it.
Just picking up on the idea of sisterhood, do you think there's more of a mutual brotherhood between men or a mutual sisterhood betwen women?
Sisterhood between women.
If it's women, why is it often said that women can't get along with other women?
Oh, that's a good. Maybe I'm wrong. You know, you're right. Okay, this is what I mean by a sisterhood. Like, I think men have more genuine friendships. That's absolutely true.
Yeah, we
but
do.
Men won't. When I think of the sisterhood, I think of women defending other women's bad behavior, and men don't really do that. Men will call someone out, he'll make fun of you, but that's a more genuine friendship because you're being honest with the person. Where women, we don't do that.
Y'all be lying.
Do you think it's true that men will insult each other and not mean it, while women will compliment each other and not mean it?
Yep.
Yes, that's true.
That's exactly right.
If people became more aware of all the unknown double standards in our society, how much would actually change?
It's kind of sad. It's kind of sad that I feel like this. But I don't think that anything will change until women start to feel repercussions, because I think they say we care about ourselves more innately, and I don't think anything will change. I think women do know there's double standards deep down. But yeah, I don't think you'll see change until women start to see consequences.
Thank you.
Do you think we would become a better society if people learned to be more sensitive or more thick-skinned?
More thick-skinned, for sure. I think some of y'all weren't bullied growing up, and it shows. It absolutely shows. This is one thing. I came from a big family, and we make fun of each other. And if you can't take a joke, you take a hike. So
there you go.
Yeah, thick-skinned.
Get out.
If there was one thing men needed to learn about women, what would it be?
Don't listen to us. We don't even know what we want. Like, and I know it's funny because I have a platform, but I really try not to give advice for that reason. Because I just think, like, women, we want one thing one day and one day another. And if you give a girl everything she wants, she still won't be happy. So make yourself happy. Put yourself first. And the women that actually want to be with you will follow.
Yep, that's true.
If there was one thing women needed to learn about men, what would it be?
Men don't want to date baby mamas, so get married.
There you go.
And have kids with the guy you're actually going to stay with.
There you go.
Why are there some people willing to accept that life isn't fair while other people want to change the world?
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good question.
People that want to change the world are actually kind of narcissistic because they think that they can't. I have like a weird view on this. I think the people that want to change the world are actually usually the worst people, because half the time their life is messed up and they can't even fix their own life, and they're trying to change the world. So I
If you're a college student, keep watching.
One of my least favorite things about writing papers in college was remembering the correct format for my
college student.
I feel like. Well, wait, what you said it was change the world. What was the other word you said?
Just accepting that life isn't fair.
Yeah, and I think the people that accept life isn't fair are the realists, and usually those are the best people because it just is what it is. Life isn't fair. But the people that try to change the world, usually their lives are messed up, and they're trying to change the world because they feel like they have no control over their own life, so they need to tell everyone else what to do.
If things can change for the worse, why do people assume things can't change for the better?
We should assume things can change for the better because things have gotten better over time. We live in the most safe society ever. We live in the most free society ever. I don't know why. I think sometimes maybe it's the media. Like we like as an average person will see more tragedies in a week because of our phones. We'll see someone get shot or we'll see someone get punched or a fight, something like that, where before people would never see it. So it's like we live in this society where even though a lot of things haven't happened to us personally, like we see these worst case scenarios, so we think the world's getting worse, but like people are lifted out of poverty every single day. It's the most safe and free the world has ever been.
That's
You talk a lot about taking accountability. Where does blaming society end and personal responsibility begin?
With yourself, like it's you. I mean, you have a choice in life. You can either blame the world for your problems, or you can take responsibility. You have you're in control of your outlook on the world.
And following up on that, why do you think women are so attached to this idea of victimhood?
I think that biologically, I don't want to misquote this, but I think women, our currency is attention, right? And if you're a victim, you get attention. So I think that's why women like to be victims, is because women will, like, what do they say? Attention is to women like sex is to men. And so if you're a victim, like, then you get the, aw, poor me, blah, 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 blah. Because oftentimes men, kind of, they have that innate protection of women. So it's kind of like when a girl cries in public, the men come to her. It's like the same thing.
There is all this talk about creating a more fair and equitable society. What determines in life what should be a competition and what should have equal outcomes?
I think nothing should have equal outcomes. Everything in life is a competition. That's why.
Survival of the fittest, natural selection. It's all part of evolution.
Where in history has everyone had equal outcomes? Never. Like, I don't know. Why do we? This is the thing about us. Our generation feels entitled to equal outcomes. That's entitlement. When did the peasant ever say to the king, "I should live like you"? Stop it.
That's true. That's true.
Is it possible to have winners without having losers?
No.
Nope.
There's a winner. There's winners and losers.
A great man once said that life is about choices and trade-offs.
Yes.
Shout out
Kevin
R.I.P.
Samuels.
Godfather.
That's Kevin Samuels.
Yes.
All right. Okay, man. Shout out to It's Complicated and Just Pearly. Thanks for coming through with the fire interview called Pearls of Wisdom, man. Where do I begin? All right. So first impressions of me watching this for the first time. I had no idea that you guys were cooking this up. So this was quite a surprise to me. So I got to give you another Don DeMarco for that alone. Right? Don DeMarco. I think this is a great interview because I haven't really gotten a chance to hear Pearl speak so openly and so candidly about her life and kind of the deeper aspects of her perspectives on the world, dating and relationships and stuff like that. Because usually from the clips that I do see, it's her usually debating women about their delusional ideas and stuff like that. And I have yet to see her lose one. So, but yeah, I never really got a chance to hear like some of her personal backstories of how she got into the space that she's in now, and just to hear it from the horse's mouth, it's quite refreshing. And then another thing too, it's just because she comes from an affluent background doesn't make her any different from the rest of us, right? She still has some of the same ideas and the same perspectives that a lot of us have. It's just her upbringing was different. But she has a lot more in common with the rest of us than she probably realizes, and that most people would give her credit for. So, I mean, she always comes through. She's transparent, she's open, she's honest, and most importantly, she always keeps it real, man. Always keeping it real. But yeah, I gotta give a special thanks and a special shout out to It's Complicated for actually setting this interview up and just doing the one-on-one, because we didn't get to hear any of the craziness. There was no septum piercings in this video. There was no cap in this video. It was just all good, productive, open, honest, and transparent conversation, man. So for that, got to give you guys another one of these. And with that being said, that's pretty much my reaction, man. So if you like the video, go ahead and give this video a like. Share with a couple of your friends. Make sure you follow me on all my social media sites. And if you got something specific, go ahead and drop it in that comment section, man. It's your boy AnonymousBased. Peace.